Guys, I'm selling my Nukeproof Scout. In this video, I'm going to tell you why, while also reviewing the bike along the way. Yeah. I'm selling my Nukeproof Scout. I'm probably crazy for doing so, but yeah, I'm selling it. As promised in a lot of my previous Nukeproof Scout videos, here is a full review, what I like and dislike about the Nukeproof Scout. Specifically, this is the Nukeproof Scout 275 with 27.5-inch wheels. Let's get into it. All right, so my first talking point is, how does this bike look? I know a lot of people really like the look of the Nukeproof Scout, its stance and how it looks on the trail, especially the branding. I'm one of those people, obviously. I really love their logo, and I really like the look of the Nukeproof Scout. So from a look standpoint, the Scout gets a thumbs up from me, for sure. Really like the look of the Scout. Great looking bike. Nice. My second talking point is pedaling performance. How does it ride on like greenways and smooth single track? Quite honestly, that's gonna be what most people ride. I'm including all bike riders, not just mountain bikers, because there's gonna be some people that are looking at this bike that aren't necessarily in the quote-unquote mountain biker category. Now, pedaling performance is something that I can answer really quickly. It performs well. It pedals really well. It carries speed on flat, meandering single track really well. On greenways, it carries speed. So really no complaints from a pedaling standpoint. It's really a comfortable bike to ride if you just wanna get out there for commutes, get out there on the single track trails. Yeah, it performs well from a pedaling standpoint. Okay, so my next talking point, I'm actually going to go out to Bentonville and let my Bentonville self tell you how well this bike does on technical climbs. So let's head out to Bentonville. Okay, so what about technical climbing? Hoop, hoop, hoop. I just don't feel like this bike climbs very well. It feels pretty sluggish, and it feels like it gets easily hung up on small little obstacles. So for the climbing, I need to get to a spot up here. Just a second. Yeah. All right, climbing, I get this bike a thumbs down. So uphill pedaling performance is so. I think part of the reason for that is because this is a 27.5. This is the 275 version of the Scout. If I was on the 29er version, it would probably do, I mean, I know it would definitely do a whole lot better at climbing. That's a little bit of a hint to why I'm selling this bike. Uphill performance and pedaling performance is all well and good, but I think most people that buy a Nukeproof Scout aren't really super interested in that. I think a lot of people are influenced by GMBN, Global Mountain Bike Network, and Blake Sampson, and how hard he shreds his Scout. So my next talking point is, I made it up to the castle. It's pretty windy up here. Easterly wind, I guess. We're gonna see how well the Nukeproof Scout does on flow. Now, if a bike doesn't do well on flow, that's a problem. But I know this bike does really well on flow, so I'm just gonna give it the thumbs up right now. Oh, no, oh, I'm evil. Gears don't slip. Yeah. Nice. Woo. Yeah. I will give this bike a thumbs up on the flow. All right, so big thumbs up on downhill flow. This bike is very nimble and maneuverable on berms and corners, and just like the really nice flow that we have in Bentonville. So definitely the Nukeproof Scout does awesome on flow, for sure. And the next talking point I have is downhill chunk. How well does this bike handle really chunky, technical downhill? Let's get out to Bentonville. Well, the bike does well on flow, just as we thought it would, but how does it do on tech? Good girl, that's good. The dragon scales. Especially on a small hardtail. Because that is one of the negatives of this bike. It feels too small to me. So on chunky trails like that, I will give this bike a thumbs down. Does not feel good. If this bike was just a little bit longer with a little bit more aggressive geometry, it would feel a lot better. But to me, this bike just feels too small. I do want to be fair to this bike from a downhill chunk standpoint. This is a hardtail. It's also a 27.5-inch wheel bike. So with those two constraints in mind, it still does pretty well at technical downhill chunk. You can only do so much on a kind of small feeling hardtail. Another hint as to why I'm selling the Nukeproof Scout. By the way, big thanks to Seth and Rex and Sam for helping me get some of these third-person shots that you're seeing. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I just mentioned that this bike does feel kind of small, and it feels small to me. This is a extra large frame. I'm 6'3", 6'4" with my shoes on, give or take. And yeah, this extra large frame feels small to me. There's not really much that I could do to make the bike feel a little bit longer for me, because I already have a pretty long stem on there. So yeah, the bike feels small to me. So from that standpoint, that's just a sizing issue. I think I just mentioned that in Bentonville, that it's just a sizing issue and it's just related to me. Take that for what you will. All right, so for my next few talking points, we're gonna head out to Bentonville once again and see how well this bike handles features, drops and jumps, all the fun stuff. Let's get out to Bentonville. Yeah. One of the biggest positives of the Nukeproof Scout 275 is that it is very nimble and good on the jumps. From memory, I haven't jumped in a while, so let's get out and do some of these jumps here at the Bentonville Bike Park. Nice. Cool. Feels good on the drops. It's crazy that a hardtail can feel that good on pretty decent sized drops, but it does. Feels good. I just want to mention real quick, I don't think I mentioned this in Bentonville, is how light this bike feels. Got carbon wheels on here. It's not really a lightweight build per se. Hi Terry. Hello Terry. But with the carbon wheels, it definitely makes it lighter for sure. So part of the reason why this bike feels so good in the air is because it's super lightweight. Well, it feels good on drops. Gets a thumbs up. How does it feel on jumps? So let's find out. Yeah. Yes. Nice. Feels good. Yes. Set that to flat. Way over cleared the last jump. So there you go. What most people are really interested in with the Scout is how well it does on jumps and drops and features. It does really well. Sorry, I'm petting the cat here. I'm getting distracted. Terry's distracting me. Yeah, the bike does really well on jumps and features and drops. I haven't really done a lot of big drops on this bike, but it could handle it. I haven't done drop the hammer or anything like that on this bike. I've done 6 foot, 7 foot drops, and it does just fine. So yeah, from a jumping standpoint, it feels incredible. Yeah. So those are all my talking points for the Nukeproof Scout. But why am I selling it though? Well, I think I alluded to it earlier. This bike feels small to me. I'm not sure if you can see scale to how big of a guy I am. I mean, I'm not like super big. One of the biggest reasons why I'm selling this bike is that it just feels too small to me, and I can't really do anything about that. You know, the Nukeproof Scout has been a fantastic bike for me. I keep on saying all these positives, all these good things about this bike, but I am still selling it. So yeah, another reason why I'm selling it is that I'm just wanting to try something different, just wanting to try something new. And I already have that new thing, and y'all are just gonna have to stay tuned on the channel to see what that is. It's another hardtail that I will be doing a video very soon on, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so that's two reasons for why I'm selling this bike, and those are two really good reasons. You know, the sizing doesn't quite work for me, and I'm selling it just to have some extra money and to make room in my stable for another bike. Those are two good reasons, I think. Now the third reason why I'm selling this bike, I mentioned it earlier, is due to the technical climbing. I really want a bike that does well at a lot of things, and I want something that does well at technical climbing. And this bike, at least with the 27.5-inch wheels, it does not feel good at technical climbing. Just so you know, it feels like it gets hung up really easily on rocks and roots. Anything that's uphill, it just feels like it gets stuck. And I've had other bikes where that doesn't happen. So it's not a me problem. I can do all right at technical climbing. It really is because of this bike, and it's really because this is a 27.5-inch wheel bike. Well, this bike has been really, really good for me. It's a little bittersweet saying goodbye to my beloved Scout here. I bought it back in 2020, so I've had it for 3 years now. But back then, I didn't really know a whole lot about reach. I didn't know a whole lot about geometry, like how important it is to get a bike that really fits you. And yeah, I know a lot more. Not saying I know a whole lot now, but I know more now than I did then, for sure. I know that I just like longer reach, and I like longer wheelbases. I like 29-inch wheels for sure. But who knows? I have seen the yellow frame Scouts, and there's a yellow frame 290. I think one of those might be in my future. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Nukeproof Scout. I think a lot of people that are watching this video either have one or they're interested in one. So let me know in the comments what makes you interested in a Nukeproof Scout. Yeah. Anywho, thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one.